Back again. 9 points from 12 games.
Is it?
9 points from 12 games, mate.
12 points. He said he's sorry.
No, 9 points from 12 games.
You're right. No, you're right. You're right.
I'm not.
You know, second.
If we were, we'd be relegated.
Good start. There's a lot to talk about today as well.
Yeah.
So.
Relegation form.
Yeah.
Sorry, Gerrard out.
Yeah.
9 points from 12.
Oi.
Good performance against Man City for battling and well fought back against Leicester. We are certainly on the Gerrard train. Who's going to kick us off?
I think I missed it, didn't I, last week? So,
Yes, actually, Willem.
Yep.
I think that was the least amount of listeners we've ever had on a podcast, I think, wasn't it? No, I'm joking.
Since the days of Glenn.
Yeah, since the days of Glenn. To be fair, well, we'll start off with Man City then, go on. Don't need to dwell too long on that one, it's far gone. But first half, obviously, was a bit quiet. I was thinking, as soon as the first one went in, I thought, oh, God, here we go. It's going to be another one of them ones, but because they just keep the ball, and it's you love to watch them, but you hate playing against them because you don't get a kick. And I was thinking it was going to be one of them ones again, but fortunately, second half we came out and got into them. I mean, the first goal, you want to say maybe Martinez could possibly do better, but you can't do anything about that Bernardo Silva chance. And I think we had about a counter attack every 10 or so, 10-15 minutes, and we created some good chances, played some nice little passages of play in the first half, but then second half we came out and we deserved the point. I think I saw a stat that we are, what is it, like the first team in like 95 games to keep Man City under an expected goals ratio of beneath 1.
Yeah.
Right, okay, there you go.
I mean, which is pretty outrageous, because I left the game thinking I can't remember them making a clear-cut chance, and that just speaks volumes to what we're doing. And Carney got his chance after the story came out. He got put on the big stage, and he didn't sink. He definitely swam. But if you put that in the top left, which is the only place he could have put it, but just to the right hand side of the keeper really, and we're probably walking away with a point there. But no, I was really happy with that. You can't really complain against losing to Man City. It's no disgrace, but yeah, happy.
I think when Man City play like they did in the first half, they're one of the best in the world, aren't they? When they keep that ball, there's just they are. I hate to say they're great to watch, aren't they? But very much like the Brighton game. I think I do agree that. I'm pretty sure he said it in his post match that again City had a lot of the ball, but it was in areas that weren't dangerous for us. But when you got a player like Mahrez, who has got an unbelievable first touch, every time the ball comes, they switch the ball, he's touching it down like it's nothing. You got Cancelo playing these balls. They've just got quality all over the pitch, and I think. Obviously, the first goal was a bit of a... He's hit it from far out. The second goal is an absolute worldie. But, we come out of the game with some respect. And, let's not get it twisted. We've lost to City big style over the last couple of years. We've had some big defeats over Man City.
Yeah, massive.
So 2-0 down at half-time, you are thinking the worst. But, once again, this man just took him in at half-time. We've come out a different side. So you have got to take the positives. And, but with Carney, I think, he's well, one, he's got into the position for a start off, and he's made the space, which again is a positive. I thought Buendia in both games has been a lot better. I think he's making things happen. He's making the ball work in tight spaces, what you want to see. And again, it's very much like the Chelsea game where you've lost 3-0. We haven't lost 3-0, we've lost 2-1. But you've lost the game against a good side, but you've come out with some credit because you've played well. That's all you want to see. And I think we took that directly into the Leicester game, to be honest. And if we can keep doing that against the top sides, then we're going to be all right.
I think the only little complaint, and you can't complain because City are far better than us. What they did better than us, and we can certainly learn a lot from, is the fouls that they were making in our half. Whenever we got the ball off and we'd win the ball back, they'd foul us straight away. Martinez would have took about 8-10 free kicks in that first half, and I was just screaming at them to do the same for Bernardo's goal, us to do the same to them. Just foul them in the box the minute we give the ball away. But Gerrard is reading everyone's minds at the minute because it's exactly what he said after the game. He said we need to be cuter, we need to know when to foul, and how to learn, because that's a difference now. Like you said yourself, Reece, we have managed to bridge the gap in class against some of the bigger teams. We're starting to get results against them. We're starting to fancy ourselves. We just need to be a little bit cuter in our tactics against them, and I think we we can start really challenging teams like City in years to come, hopefully. So yeah, I was pleased. A lot of encouraging signs, and then we took it and we backed it up against Leicester. I said in the podcast last week, if we lost to City, then I think we'd follow it up with a win against Leicester. I was pleased because I think that was my only prediction that I've ever got right. And yeah, we did exactly that, didn't we?
Yeah, I think like what Gerrard said, I think his post-match against Leicester, we can't keep giving teams 45 minutes head start, especially against Man City, which is what cost us. If we can replicate that second half performance that we showed against Man City, against the other top 6 sides in this division, but across 90 minutes, then we'll come out with more points than we probably look like we should be getting by the quality of our squad, let's say. But no complaints about that City game. It's a free hit. We come out with our head held high. Actually came out pretty all. Players were gutted on the pitch, weren't they? At full time.
Yeah.
So, look, positives to take from that. You can take that, can't you?
Yeah, I think so. And the Leicester game again. I think for me, I went toe for toe with a better team than Leicester. I think 2-1 flatters Leicester, 100%. I think they had the controversy of the VAR decision, which we'll talk about. But we had chances to really bury the game. And look, Leicester haven't been as good as I've been, in previous seasons this season. But again, they're another team who used to come to Villa Park and take the piss. So to get 3 points against Leicester, again, I think it just shows real progress. And I think I don't think you want to be a team playing the Villa at the moment, and that's exactly all I can ask for where we are on the journey at the moment, and where we are, from in comparison to where we were last season to this season. I just want us to be a team that's hard to beat. I want us to be a team that people play off and they go, "Oh, it's Villa." Don't fancy going to Villa Park, and that's exactly what we're looking like at the moment. I think touching on the performance against Leicester, I thought again we did start really slow. I thought we started quite sloppy as well, giving the ball away. Dougie Luiz, one of them, but a lot of players second half, Luiz included, and Cash, they just seemed to step it up again. For me, like I said, we're going in at half time, we're coming out a different side, and that all hangs down on the manager, and exactly what you want to see. I think their goal, I thought was again another good goal right from the alt, and I thought Harvey Barnes was their best player.
There's only one place you can put it.
Yeah, it was an excellent goal from Barnes, but again we reacted really strongly, didn't we? Straight away we got the goal back, and that's exactly what we want to see. It's the sort of mentality you want to see from the team, and I think it's something that the things that we're picking up on each week, better second halves, coming out different sides, quick reactions, they're becoming common themes, aren't they? If that's going to be the story of Gerrard at Villa, then we'll be all right.
Yeah, I think for a first time ever really in a Villa shirt, after that first goal went in, I did turn to Jack sat next to me and said, "Can you remember the last time Martinez made a world-class save?" And that was the first time I've ever thought, but he hasn't. I can't really. I mean, look, you can't expect. Well, you can. You got goalkeepers in there to save your points, and I think it's been a while since, from the top of my head, I could remember him really stepping up. And then there he goes with a match. Well, a 2 point saved us 2 points there with that save in the top corner. Yep. So yeah, really happy with Martinez. There's a big. I think he needed a bit of confidence because he's been leaking in a few sloppy ones. I think recently, Declan Rice is one, and
freestyle
a few others.
Yeah.
For the standards that he sets, and he's Argentina #1, and he expects more from himself than we do. But look, fantastic. 3 points against Leicester. I was never really in doubt up until we went 1-0 down, and I thought, okay, this is going to be a bit of a game. Harvey Barnes played well, didn't he? But Matty Cash defensively superb. Going forward, I think his crossing still is, it leaves a lot to be desired. But Ezri Konsa, Rolls Royce again. Man, he got that important flick on for the Buendia goal.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh well, his goal that we just took off Buendia, but I think he had to get a flip onto that.
I do.
Mings, superb again, goes unnoticed. Just when he does the simple things, he's absolutely superb. And Ashley Young came in, so then that back five. Without that unreal finish from Harvey Barnes, they'd have been due a really good clean sheet there. But
what pleased me the most against Leicester is that for all the money that we've spent and the quality that we've got in this squad, we're seeing players getting their chances and keeping their shirt that you'd have said were squad players. We've spent 10 million collectively on Jacob Ramsey, Ashley Young, and Marvellous Nakamba. One's an academy graduate, one we've got on a free. And the three of them are outstanding at the minute.
Yeah,
and they're not losing their shirts for me, which is encouraging, because when the quality and the talent, the Danny Ings, the Leon Baileys do come back into the squad, just show that we have got a really good squad. And all that we asked when Gerrard came in was for them to get fit, to win their battles, to show a bit of quality and a bit of fight, and they're doing more than that. So Leicester was an example of that. Second half, we were brilliant. We could have ran away with it.
Yeah.
2-1, you're absolutely right. Reece flattered them. I think we were all sat in the game, weren't we, in the second half, thinking we're missing too many chances here, and there weren't even half chances. There were chances that we did need to score, and I was sat there thinking, this is going to come back to bite us on the bum. But you're right, Martinez has for the first time this season, bar United potentially, I think he's won us 2 points at the end there, and that's not a criticism of him necessarily. Everyone's standards dipped for a time under Smith, and I think he's one of them. But that's all you want from your goalkeeper, is to win us some points, and he's done exactly that. So all in all, to a man, subs again included, they made us proud on Sunday. They're doing it time and time again. Yeah,
I think one play you forgot there, Brett. I'd have a 2.5 million onto that 9 or 10, and you got John McGinn as well.
Well,
The bloke's been absolutely phenomenal, hasn't he? I can't get over how good he's been these last 4 games. He's been unbelievable. I think he's one of those players for me will go down as a Villa hero. I think he's absolutely phenomenal. The way he intercepts balls and wins the ball back, I've never seen anything like it in a Villa shirt. The bloke, he covers every blade of grass. He's superb. When he's on form like he's at the moment, he's enjoying his football. Like we said, time and time again, he's absolutely fantastic. And I think we spoke about it before we came on, Brett. I think if he continues in this manner, we're going to start getting some serious interest for him, because he's been fantastic.
He's been linked with this United fella already this week, Ranić, and he's been linked to United in the past. That won't go away. Liverpool, those murmurs of in the summer, but yeah, if we're not in a position where we're sort of challenging for Europe this summer, I think we could have another Grealish situation on our hands. I hope there's not a release clause in there.
There'll be no release clause in that contract.
Well, you'd hope so, wouldn't you?
Shout out to him thinking that the game's still going on and taking on 3 players around in the keeper.
As far as he's concerned, he's not fouled him, has he?
Yeah. I mean, on that note, if there's anything that epitomised John McGinn, it was exactly that. It was just 110%.
Passion,
his head down. When those shoulders go over his head, you know it's game over. You know what I mean? You can't take the ball off him. He's getting the ball off you.
Absolutely quality. Some of his passes and his technical ability. He's always worked hard. He's always been good for a tackle and an arse roll and all. But some of the stuff he was playing on Sunday was criminal. It was world class.
His range of passing, it's 5 yards or 50 to.
When he's on form, I think you almost start 1-0 up. It was like that sometimes with Jack last
season. Extra man.
Yeah, he's world class at times, world class. And I did criticise him a little bit under Smith because I did think he dropped off it. But him and Gerrard, they've got to be a match made in heaven. Those two.
So. Yeah, he'll be loving it as well. But I know Gerrard was a unbelievable midfield player and technically gifted, but he was a hard worker as well, and he'll love that in McGinn. And I think every good team needs a hard worker in it, But I think with McGinn, it's not just a hard worker; it's someone who has got that technical ability. And I think he's absolutely touchwood part of the plan for the future.
I think marvellous as well. I mean, I think pre-Gerrard, we'd probably seen 3 performances to the standard over the past 18 months or so, to the standard of what he's been putting in. And Gerrard's first 4 games, let's say, he's put in 3 of the best what we've seen on him. He could save us a lot of money if he's going to play like this week in, week out. Definitely still be interested, once to get in another defensive midfielder. But I tell you what, I mean, the guy, he's just winning the ball back, and I can't believe he wins he reads the play unbelievably. He wins the ball back that you don't really expect him to. He comes literally out of nowhere. And the one massive criticism I used to have of him about his distribution, he's passing the ball forwards. He's slotting it between players, and he's picking out the forward players. And you can't
easily.
He's undroppable at the moment. And I've never really picked. If I was to pick a team, he'd never been in my first 11 for probably the entire time that we've had him. But look, you can't drop him.
I've said before about Nakamba. If we're going to push on to where we want to go, I don't think he'd be part of the plans. I've even said about McGinn, he can't be the first midfielder on the team sheet. The problem with a lot of these lads over the last year and the last 3 years, for as long as some of them have been at the club, has been consistency. And if Gerrard can get these lads playing consistently week in, week out, and Christmas will be the test because there's a lot of fixtures coming up, that'll be the barometer for how far this team can go. And this season, I thought this season was done a month ago, but I think that the opportunities there now to certainly finish in the top 10 and maybe have a pop at getting into the top 8. But they've got to be consistent now. They've got to back it up. They've done it for the last 4 games. They've done it over the last 3 weeks. They've got to go and do it now in the coming weeks and months.
Yeah, I think Ollie, a couple of chances for him there. Obviously, he's won the game the other week for us. he's always had that bit of an issue. He's not the most potent in front of goal. If he can get that, then we've got a serious.
Another one that had his head down.
Which one?
He scored. Offside, or was it foul?
There was nothing wrong with
Foul?
that either.
Nothing wrong with that one either.
6-1.5 dozen of the other.
He stuck it in the bottom left.
They've got to let that run, haven't they?
Yeah.
They've got to let that run, and then
I think let it run and have a look at VAR.
That's it.
Yeah, I thought that was the rule.
there's no way he knows that's a foul with certainty.
No, absolutely not. And I mean, look, we might as well address it now. The most disgraceful decision to disallow a goal.
Yeah. Shocking.
Yeah.
They read the rule right back on Sky Sports News and then Match of the Day on the evening. And the rule is it's something like the goalkeeper's in control of the ball if he has one hand on the ball and another, and it's maybe the goalpost or the floor is underneath it. Except if it rebounds off the goalkeeper or the goalkeeper's it comes directly from a goalkeeper's save. And then they've asked I don't know what it is, the PGLA or whatever it is, the Referees Association, and they said, oh no, the second half of that sentence doesn't apply to the first. That was their genuine response. Right. What on earth? I don't get that. Are they just like making it up as they go along? No. If people were saying, some Villa fans say, you know what? Okay, fair enough. He was in control of the ball. There's absolutely no way he was in control of that ball.
Absolutely
He's got a fingertip on it for a split second. There's no way in hell that he's in control of that football. And he's bought the VAR system by just going along and crying on it. And I loved every single minute of the stick that he was getting.
Yeah,
and it just made that victory even sweeter because I thought he's a knob for ages, to be fair.
Yeah.
The arrogance on his bloke. He's just like his dad. He's just like his dad. And I hate him, and I really dislike him. I think he's one of the most arrogant men in football.
He simplified it in his post-match comments, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was saying, it shouldn't have even gone to VAR. What planet's he on? I know it wasn't, but if that was his foot that was there instead of his hand, Jacob Ramsey's allowed to challenge for it. There's no way there should be a rule in football that stops Jacob Ramsey there trying to score. It's an absolute nonsense.
Yeah.
I've always known, and fair enough if this isn't the rule, it's got to be two hands on the ball for the keeper to be in possession of it.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't.
Shocking.
From when we were kids, that's what we were told.
Yeah. We scored. I was like, buzzing, celebrated, walked off for a beer. All I hear is boo, and I'm like, oh my god. And I was literally like, I 100% know that should be a goal. There is no way.
The only thing it did do is made us more determined to get something out of the game. It pretty much galvanised the whole team because I thought the atmosphere was a bit flat, to be fair. And it would be, Sunday afternoon, long weekend and all that.
It was our half-time team talk.
That was everything that we needed to go out there
for the fans as well.
Exactly.
I don't know who sneaked it onto the big screen as well because I thought you weren't allowed to play back a referee's decision.
I think you're allowed to show the final decision. You show the replay once, but you can't. They don't show the continuous replays of them going forwards and backwards.
They showed enough, didn't they, for every fan in the ground to see that it was a ridiculous decision. And like you say, the place was rocking second half.
Usually they do that thing on Dermot Gallagher on Sky Sports News. He reviews all the decisions. I didn't see if they did that this week, but he always
did. And Stephen Warnock. Stephen Warnock went on and absolutely schooled him.
Did he?
Yeah.
Was Gallagher sticking up for the decision?
Of course he was, they all do, don't they?
Referees Alliance,
The thing is, he's been on live on TV and then said that, that's wrong, I don't know why they've given that. And then at the end of the game, he'll call back into his little shell and
he's on BT, Peter Walton, he's the worst.
Yeah.
You wouldn't invite him for a dinner party, would you?
He was the one when Mings, obviously we got done at Man City, the player came from the offside division, and Waltons came out in the game saying, I don't know what he's done there. And then he came back 20 minutes after the game, so I've had a look at the rule. I'll behave. Just referee the game. It's never, just use your common sense. It's never been a foul on the goalkeeper. And Kasper Schmeichel, stick that up your arse, mate.
You know what? When it happened, I thought he was getting a bit of undue stick. I thought it's not really his fault. Because he's played up to the, it's what any goalkeeper would do. But then the post-match, everything that came with, I thought, you knob.
He just isn't knob. I remember his comments in the summer about how arrogant he was when England played him. Yeah, he's going, everybody, just behave yourself, mate.
Even his behaviour for the first goal, they were moaning like it was going to be. Honestly, Leicester's players' reactions and Kasper Schmeichel included, I thought this is going to get turned over because otherwise. They're making a fool of themselves, and they made an absolute tit. There are two blokes on a post, and they were claiming offside. Honestly, I couldn't.
The Conza one got checked in it.
What on earth? Shocking.
In what planet is he getting checked?
But when his reaction was, "This is going to get chalked off." Surely, they were trying to buy. It's gamesmanship. I've just said, earlier in the podcast, I've just called for Villa to start being a bit cuter with fouls. So maybe that's something that we need to look at as well. Yeah. Can't be too critical of them, but I'm glad that they got what they deserved, because I thought they tried to cheat us out the first goal as well.
Yeah. I mean, Ashley Young, he's our lad for that, isn't he?
Brilliant, isn't it? Well, he was straight over to the screen both times. Ashley Young.
Absolutely loves it. You just know straight away.
He hates VAR.
I mean, the levels that he's at fitness-wise, he's a joke for a 37-year-old man.
Absolutely.
If he can, give him another year now. I think Gerrard said to me,
give him another year now.
Just give him I want him around that club for as long as possible.
Yeah.
What a guy! I listen to his interviews of the week.
Yeah.
His desire to win just shines every tackle, every pass, every time we score. Yeah. It just, it's brilliant to watch.
I want him around Bodymore Heath.
He'll be a coach
for a long time.
He'll do his badges at the Villa, and he'll be a coach. He'll manage under 18s or something. I reckon one of those ones like Terry will be there for even longer, to be honest with you. He's the sort of bloke you want at the club, isn't he? He's been an excellent player for us at the start and end of his career. He's the model professional. He's a winner. And he seems like an all-round nice bloke as well. I love him. He's fantastic.
It's just that elite mentality as well.
An Aston Villa legend.
And he's obviously had his stint before where he's our top assist maker in the Premier League. Yeah. Look, you can't. Obviously, we had the pantomime boos. When we played against him last time, but you know what? That goes into the wise. And on that note, we haven't actually spoke about the
reception.
The Grealish reception.
Well, I thought the chant, the Villa Till We Die chant was better than anything else that we could have done. It was perfect.
Absolutely poetic. That's exactly
goosebumps, honestly.
It was,
It
was
unbelievable.
It was. I mean, but Carragher came out and did a silly article on it, didn't he?
Yeah.
I had to have a bit of a pop at him on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
The way that he can write a story about the reception that the Villa fans gave him when he wasn't even at the stadium, he's going on what he's heard off the TV or on social media. I think actually 75% of the stadium were giving him a positive reaction.
They were.
And even the Boo Boys, when he came on, look, he's going to get it anyway because it just adds to the atmosphere. It's what I said it before. It's pantomime boos. It's just like all that get on his. He gets on the ball. We're gonna obviously there's going to be jeers because we're going to want to put pressure on him. And at the end of the game, he walks around full standing ovation from every single person in the stadium.
It was an overreaction from Carragher.
Apart from Reece, apparently.
I didn't clap him. I just stood there. But.
Yeah, no. To be fair, I mean, I didn't boo him, and I didn't applaud him onto the pitch. But at the end of the game, I was like, you know what, fair play. I'll give him a few.
He did kiss the whole end, and my heart dropped.
I did see.
I was like,
I said you can keep your kisses though, mate.
Yeah, I saw the kiss, and I was like, don't start getting me in the field, son. I was like, flashbacks from back in the day.
I was there a little bit early, so I watched him. He was late out for the warm up, and he came on and was sitting next to my mate. I was going, he's going to come on in a minute, and I was like, what you reckon? What you reckon you're going to do? He was like, nah. And I was like, nah, I don't know. I think I'm feeling it. He come on, and I was like, I can't stay mad at you, Jack.
The kiss sent me. I've got a soft heart, and I was like, don't get me back in the field, son. You know what I mean? But
I think
he'll be back.
There was one guy by me, and he literally every time he was warming up, he was coming up, he's going, oh, boom. Right. And I thought, what an absolute knobhead. Guess who it was?
Glenn. Classic. Absolute classic. But yeah, as we said though, the perfect reaction to that. And I didn't see anyone. That wasn't planned. That was just off the cuff, and it was just straight.
I heard that chant for a while.
I was going to say one of the many songs that I haven't heard at the club for a while.
We need some variants, don't we? To be honest,
we've absolutely. So many songs, and we're just singing every week we follow.
We can't say that the podcast is called Every Week You Follow, but I mean,
yeah. Keep singing that one.
But keep singing that one. Yeah, it's a great song.
We do need some
bit of PR.
I mean, I came out with absolute cracker early on in the year of Leon Bailey ponded left hand side, but that hasn't even kicked off either. So you know what?
I started singing the other one.
I'm not John Lennon, but you know what? If you don't want to take from my genius songwriting skills, then I'll just sit in the Trinity Road stand and
you crack on
and have my curry sauce and chips.
That's Crufts. But talking about Brett, what do you want from the season now? I think we've got to talk about it. I think one of the key things is the FA Cup. Now, that's a tough draw against United, isn't it? It's a tough draw.
It's just the last thing you need.
I think we've got them 5 times in the last 20, haven't we, in the third round? Something like that.
Yeah, I remember when we always used to get them.
We've got them twice in a week as well.
Yeah, we have. We could have them 3 times in a week and a half, couldn't we? Because we get the replay.
Yeah.
But look, you can't control it, can you? It's the draw. But you know, I think if we get the 15% allocation, we get around, a good 10,000 there. We can give these a right good game. I reckon it'll be a good tie. I really do. And I think there's no way Gerrard's going to look at that and play a second string.
It's 2 first teamers.
It's going to have to be.
Because Neves, whatever his name is, Ragnarok.
He's got one chance for a domestic trophy. This bloke at United, he's going to want to take it. And so I reckon it's going to be a decent tie. I do. I fancy just to give him a good game.
I'm looking forward to it. I think there was a bit, because we was at the under 23s game last night, and people were having their phones out and watching the draw whilst the game was going on. And you heard a few sighs and a few bit of disbelief. People turning around like we get on. We go, I was quite excited by it. Back at Old Trafford, we've already beaten there once this season. Steven Gerrard going back. The atmosphere is going to be good, especially if we get a maximum allocation. I reckon we'll sell it. We'll sell that out.
Probably, yeah.
Anyway, give us more than that. I think it would be a great day and a good opportunity for some players. We're going to play very close to a full strength side.
Yeah, got to.
You're going to have to, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly, because it's our only real chance of some real trophy this season. So you've got to, and I look forward to it.
Disappointing having a signing.
Yeah, could.
Disappointing me. I just wanted, to a home draw your way through League One, Championship opposition to Wembley. Yeah, you're spot on. But if we go and beat United early doors, what a great way to set up a potential run.
Sets the tone, doesn't it? If we beat United in that third round, it sets the tone. So we're taking this competition seriously and we're up for it. So you'd rather lose in the third round than the final. We've all been there. It's heartbreaking. So let's just go there and give them a good game.
You get past them, and City slip up against Kane Kessler at Swindon Town, and he sticks one in the top stanch in the 90th minute. Then you got two big guns that are all out there. Suddenly it's anyone's competition.
Just wish we were going there due a result.
Yeah,
it's not like we can even say, that.
2 in a row would be nice.
Well, it's stranger things have happened.
3 in a row after that.
Gerrard will want to go there and win, but I was one of those that thought, when the draw came, just because they're going to be up for it. We are, we're not the favourites, are we? But
no.
We're going to have to play them eventually if we want to go.
I always fancy us.
I always fancy us.
Well, of course, I'll fancy us. Yeah.
Every time on the coach on the train. Fancy us today.
I just fancy us today. I'm funny feeling about today. But no, I think it'll be a good game, and I think, like we said, I think if you're going to win a cup competition, you have to beat some of the best sides, and if you have to be in the third round, so be it.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're still in Europe, aren't they? So
yeah. Well, moving on to the last game that we saw, all 4 of us went down to Bodymore Heath to watch the 3-3 draw with.
Yeah, nearly threw it away at the end as well. With 3-1 up.
I hate to give them any credit, but
in fairness, we looked at our side that we put out before it, and we've got which is currently being played now, the FA Youth Cup. Yeah. So we had pretty much an unrecognisable team from any of the teams that's been fielded this season in the PL2. Back 4 was really, really makeshift. I think attacking midfielder actually ended up coming on at left back. 16-year-old kid started playing left back, who's right footed. So he was a bit really all over the place, but we were still giving a good game. I mean, Trez, although I don't think he really affected the game massively, but he's been out for a year or so. He managed to get his goal from the spot. Davis, Caleb Chukwuemeka looked really good.
Caleb played really well. We took him off, and we saying to Brett, we actually struggled when he come off. He was dictating the play in the 10 minutes.
He was playing really good. It's the first time I'd really seen him live.
Yeah, I thought he was more. He was a striker, out-and-out striker, but he was playing quite deep.
He's technically he's big, isn't he? But he's on the floor. He's bang on.
I think he needs to be playing men's football either, because he's that big.
He's come from playing men's football, hasn't he? It made me laugh watching Trezeguet and Keenan turn out for the 23. It was 2 years ago. They were starting at Arsenal at home to keep us up. So I felt sorry for them, but fair play to them. They felt like they had a point to prove, didn't they? And I've got to be honest, I can't see either of them potentially being fixtures in this Gerrard team. But I'd have said the same about Nakamba. So you just never know, do you? You never know. Fair play to them, get themselves fit. And we struggled when Trez came off. And
I think Keenan's gagging for a loan move. And he needs a loan move to the Championship base.
He needs to go somewhere in January, doesn't he?
Yeah, and if he doesn't bag, his game to goal ratio has got to be a 2-1 to even consider him at the Villa. He's going to have to do something pretty impressive on loan, to be honest.
But I think it was the Ollie Watkins injury that stopped him from going out on loan. He was going out. So
he got injured himself for 2 months.
Oh yeah, sorry.
On the eve of moving to Stoke.
I do feel sorry for him in a way, because I think his injuries haven't helped, but I think the club could have probably have managed him a little bit better, because he's needed a loan for a couple of years now.
Yeah,
Because we've always been a little bit short in the forward areas, it's held him back probably a little bit. So I don't think the club have probably been the best manager of him, if I'm being honest.
No,
So
yeah, but also he hasn't. He's never really convinced anyone when he has played. But look, it swings and roundabouts. It works both ways. I don't know that it was nice to see a bit about what Timmy Rogbunum is about.
As a player, isn't he? He was on the bench.
He looks so silky.
He was on the bench for the first team at the weekend, so I think he's one of the next highly rated lads.
Holding midfielder, comfortable on the ball. Another one that kind of glides with it as well. But he'll take the ball, with a player up his arse, and he's confident enough to even just glide past them and pass it. A few things that he needs to work on, definitely. He's definitely nowhere near ready to play a Premier League football match, but another exciting player that we're looking forward to getting on. Did you check the score?
It's 0-0 at the minute in the Youth Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, we
against Leicester, isn't it?
We had a look. Yeah, I mean, we had a look, and we also had a bit of a tear because the side last year was unbelievable. Like some of the names, Revan, Louis Barry, Brad Jones.
Kessler.
Brings back the memories. Carney.
Just be how many every time, isn't it? How many we're going to beat these by?
It's a very different side this year, but it's fair. You know what? They've got Josh Feeney playing. He's a real good centre half. Brigard's at CDM, Crescen's there. It's more the forward players that you don't really recognise from last year. But look, if you can retain that, it'd be absolutely brilliant.
Young lad, as he was saying before, young lad on the bench, that Birchall, we signed him from Bournemouth last season. He made a first team appearance for Bournemouth last season, or maybe a couple, and he's on the bench for our under 18s. Right. At the moment. So the levels there, the standards really good. Hopefully we can have another go at this competition again, because it's it's the most prestigious youth competition out there is in England, definitely. So
twice in a row, mate, would be nice.
Yeah, exactly. And then on the youth subject, Kessler's got his goal in the second round of the cup, not to Walsall out. On the other, in East Anglia, you got Louis Barry, who hasn't even had a kick in about 5 months.
Their manager's gone, haven't they? And you just hope something needs to happen there. The new manager that comes in needs to either give Louis and the club reassurances that he's going to get some minutes.
I think they signed Louis on loan, and then apparently, so I only found out the other day, is that they signed all these other players.
They signed senior.
Was it 21 players that they signed last season?
Yeah, it seems a bit messy there.
He hasn't got a chance. Yeah. Just need to drag him back and then send him out somewhere else.
They signed about 3 senior attacking players in his position as soon as just after
the signing. It's not fair, is it?
I would have backed him to have made our bench this season, so I don't know how he's not making Ipswich's, to be honest. Some of the options that we've got.
Yeah. I think even though, he's still 17, 18, maybe 18 now. I think it's just going to be a learning curve for him. I think if anything, he'll still learn about being in that environment. He'll be training the first team every single day. You can't not learn from that experience. I think he has to try and turn it into positive, and it's possible to do so. He'll come back here in January. Maybe he'll play the rest of the season. Just to play some football and play with our young lads, or maybe just go to a different team that's going to give you a chance.
Well, me and Reece were saying last night, Louis Barry will get a chance at the Villa regardless, because of the profile. The fact that his goal against Liverpool, the fact that he's a fan, he'll get his chance.
Played at Barca as well.
Exactly.
You don't play for Barcelona and then not make it through the game. Let's be honest.
Some of the other lads like Brad Young, Revan brothers, the lads that are a little bit lower down the pyramid. You almost feel for them, because if these loans don't necessarily go their way, they might not necessarily get a chance in the first team. Whereas Louis, it was always going to be the same with Kearney. No matter what, he was always going to get a chance in the first team. Yeah. So it'd be interesting. But yeah, I'd get if he's not going to play any football at Ipswich, I'd get him back 1st of January. I'd have him on the bench at United.
There's humongous competition in that academy now.
Yeah, there is.
It's healthy for the football club, and you'll see, some players will either sink or swim, and we will be better off for it as a football club. But it's one hell of a competition. You've got you can only fit too many or so many young players into the sides. I think what we said before, we need to be looking at getting some of these lads out on loan playing men's football. Maybe Caleb for one is someone that looks ready physically. They need to be playing men's football. Getting their value up, and then either it gets to a point where they're 18, 19, possibly touching 20, that you have to be looking at maybe offloading a few, and then set like what Man City do, setting some buyback clauses in their contracts, because there's some frightening talent, and their Kessler's absolutely ripping it up at Swindon. Their fans can't believe that they've got him.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me if he's the one that comes back and
he could even be second choice right back for his next
season.
I
think he will be next season.
Yeah.
Either that or get him out on loan in the Championship. But he's still only, you know, he could easily come back to the club in 2 years' time at 20 years old.
Be the best right back.
And be big competition for Matt Cash.
That situation at Kesler reminds me completely of Kyle Walker, because he
Spot
was
on.
at Sheffield United on loan from Spurs, came to us, and then he'd had half a season in the Premier League with us, and then the
Bang,
season after
went
that
back
he was
there.
banged
Was it
straight
Was
into
it him and Carl Norton were both right backs at the same
Yeah,
time?
yeah,
at
yeah,
Sheffield?
yeah.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
certain they were nip and tuck, weren't they? And he accelerated his career at the Villa, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's a few players that we can be really excited about, and I mean, when the first team are playing, last 4 games anyway, playing like this, the positive times are back. Everyone's happy again, and it's if we can keep this consistency, as you said, Brett, that keyword consistency, then you know the sky's the limit of where we can go. But we just need to, like the old cliche is, keep each game as it comes, and we'll see where we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, right then. Moving on to the Liverpool game. Short and sweet, this one.
Nice, yeah.
What do we reckon here?
Well, obviously the obvious. I can't be watching Sky Sports this week because it's going to be the Gerrard back to Liverpool brigade. So ignoring that, it's going to be a tough game, but only for the pure reason that I'd never back us to lose. I'll say 1-0 Villa.
On that point about Sky though, he has come out and he's
I love that.
He doesn't care, does he?
Yeah.
And I think he's fully here for the cause, isn't he? So then they can do it. The one Gerrard won't care. A little clap to the cop, and then all eyes on the away end, please. That's all I'm after, really. I'm after having 2 over the top. I think it'll be a tough game, but I think we'll definitely give them a game. We're not going to go. I don't see us going there and getting rolled over by any stretch of the imagination.
Wolves held them pretty long, to be fair, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, I think that will spur them on. No, to be honest with you, I think that was really important for them to get that goal against Wolves.
Yeah.
Great side again, another team when they're on it, one of the best in the world. I'm gonna go for a 1-1. Yeah,
take a point, wouldn't you?
100%. Snap your hand off, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm the exact same. Just try and keep a bit of momentum going. It's a tall order expecting us to go there. One of the best teams in Europe and win. But if we can nick a point or even just make a good account of ourselves in the same way we did against Man City, then that'll do for me. But yeah, I'm the same as you. I'm never going to predict the Villa to lose, so I'll go 2-0 Villa.
It's good. Really,
When's the last time they've lost at home? I bet was it Burnley? It's got to be,
It's gonna, yeah,
because they went unbeaten for ages, didn't
they?
they?
Had a shocker in lockdown though, didn't they?
They had a
this
bit of a
season?
period, didn't they? Actually, you're not wrong, are you?
Well, we owe them one at Anfield, I think. It's been
Yeah,
a
I mean,
while,
last year
so
we threw it away. Last
Yeah,
year
we
we were,
did.
we were the better team for a lot of the game last year. We completely threw it away, didn't we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brighton took a point from this season. I think they were 2. Was it 2?
Wolves.
down?
I
Wolves
heard
nearly.
they played better than them on that game, Brighton as well. Apparently they were the better side, the better chances, didn't they as well? But I mean, clutching at straws a little bit, you know.
Well, before this, this Klopp era, we used to do quite well there. To be fair,
We used
didn't
to do
we?
alright,
There's a good few wins that we've had up there.
Lambert used to enjoy going there, didn't he?
Didn't he?
He won about
Lambert-
2 or 3
Lambert
games.
used to
Yeah,
turn up there, stick Gabby Bonlahor on Steven Gerrard all game,
yeah.
and it marked him out the game. To be fair, and then we managed to get a few results from it. So, you know what? They're not absolutely flying at the moment.
I don't know then.
I mean,
They are.
there's 3 teams at the top of that league, and they're all pointing with each other.
In terms of the levels that they were at previously, I'm probably talking the year that they nearly went invincible. They're not as good as what they were then. I'm really clutching.
Harsh critic.
Nah.
Are they playing this week?
Playing Milan tonight.
But they're already through, aren't they? So you can
They'll
get a clutch in.
rotate that, won't they?
Yeah.
Look, we'll beat them. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We'll beat them.
2 yellow cards for the fullbacks, Cash and Target, because they're putting all that passion in.
Target's playing, is it?
Well, does he get
done it
back in
again?
Did
Did I
it
do
in
that
the
to
social
you?
on Sunday, yeah. It's like,
He
so
might be
I'll
playing.
give
Is he
you
back?
I'll give you 10 if Target's the assist for the goal. Right?
Oh,
No, I'll give you a
God.
beer. It's like, right,
I
it's
meant
not even
Ashley
playing.
Young. I meant Ashley Young. Either way, I got it wrong. Anyway. Just leave me alone.
Rom, what's your
2
prediction?
fullbacks getting a yellow card, but we're going to win it in the 93rd minute, 1-0.
Who's scoring?
John McGinn.
Oh, could you imagine?
Imagine that.
Giving it that one.
yeah.
Can't see it on the
Can't see-
podcast,
can't
but
see it.
Yeah.
I think they all know
Everyone knows
exactly what I
it.
was
Did he
doing.
really?
Well, actually,
Yeah.
I can't do it. I can't. No, fair play to you. I can't do that.
Decent. Right. Well, Stevie G train. Next stop, Anfield.
Yeah.